Morning. We are untying from our last anchorage. Holly and Addie are out in the tender now, and I've just released the portside line. Team's doing a great job. Not sure why she's in the water. Oh, she's dropped something. Oh god. Now she's wet. Not sure that was the plan she had this morning.
That wasn't part of a plan?
No. I bet it wasn't. I'll get it this end, eh? Well, this is quite a nice stern line drop.
Much nicer.
I got it done. The motors aren't on.
Huh?
Oh, they're not in here.
Right, will we lift the tender first?
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. Just chilling.
You right, baby? Can you put it down yourself?
What happened, Pan? She went for a swim this morning. Had your pretty little top on, pretty little pants.
Some of the shackles, the pin sort of stays hanging in there, whereas this one tried
Yeah,
to
this
hold
one
them both,
doesn't.
but it just went plonk, and I'm like, oh crap. But there was like big crevices right where it fell. Thank goodness it didn't land in one.
No one likes a crevice.
But that was much less stressful than it has been lately, so thank goodness.
Yeah. And I think that's because we'd talked through a couple of times plan of attack.
Yes.
So we had our little systems in place and just made it happen.
Yeah.
See how we go when we tie back up.
Yeah, I think that's the harder part.
All right.
By ourselves too.
Back up on starboard.
That's taken us exactly 4 minutes.
Has it?
Yep. See? 4 minutes.
Mind you, it needs a bit of a shake.
Righto, press the...
Yay, we picked up anchor.
Yay!
Nice and smooth.
High five! When we were lifting up at the very start, when we went to get the hammer, it just went vroom and dropped all of our chain.
All of it.
But
Wow.
I was at 95% perfect
Can you fix
release. What's that?
95, 98,
What do you want me
99.
to do?
It's going out, and then I need you to put that bit so it's turned straight.
Ah, yes. There you go. There you go. Yep, so start from the back and work your way forward, baby.
I need it on kind of like a waterfall so I can get more out.
Alrighty, we're out of here. So we are running 2 reefs. Don't know if you can really see that. 2 reefs, the Genoa. We're getting anywhere between 13 to 23 apparent. So we're not in a rush to get there. It's only 10 nautical miles. So we figured we'd just play it safe, cruise along. We're doing 7 knots in 13 knots true. So I'm happy with that. And yeah. Recce time.
Recce time and get dry time.
In preparation of the new anchorage.
Yeah.
Poor Pants still stresses her heart out at new anchorages.
Oh,
But we'll be right.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an anchorage, I think it's a lineage.
A lineage?
Because I have to use lines.
True.
Coming into places like this, we always have someone at the front with satellite imagery open to follow the right path and also keep a manual lookout. You do not want to get stuck on reef out here with so few people around to assist.
No beach.
That ledge comes out fairly far. I can see it.
Looks pretty good there.
Yeah, you don't want to go past here.
No, to our right.
our right.
Yeah. In that section to our right now?
No, he would have been here.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, you could go in here to our right.
Yeah.
There's a bomb
As in
there.
back there. So that goes all the way across pretty much.
Yeah.
That reef there comes out pretty far.
You can hear the rain coming.
Yeah, I know. So what, just put one shackle through it?
Yeah. Them wet pants? Come to Indonesia, they said. Be beautiful.
Okay, so when the sun comes out, it is absolutely gorgeous, and Ross's drone footage captures the colours amazingly. The fish life here is so incredible, and as we keep saying, the water is so clear. You can literally see everything without even getting out of the tender.
It is so clear here, you almost don't even need to snorkel. Let's get that rubbish out of the way. Like, you can literally see clownfish houses and the caves below. There's a beautiful parrotfish. I saw a bunch of beautiful reef fish before. Oh, it's just unbelievably clear. Morning.
Morning.
So we are still in Balbulol, and it's a bit strange. There's been a few random rainstorms and everything out here along the Mosul coastline, and all the islands that run sort of east to west along Mosul. But this is the first time we've woken up, and it's almost like there's been a storm way out there that's blown everything in. It doesn't actually look as bad now as it did this morning, but
Isn't it?
you can just see.
So see that piece of driftwood right
This
there?
way, baby.
It's like the best piece of driftwood to
There's like just heaps of rubbish. So much rubbish and plastic has washed up all the way over there, all the way around back here. Lots of logs and trees. So much plastic. It's so sad. And it's one of those things where you kind of feel like if I was a giant, I could just grab like a pool scooper and scrape it all out and just get rid of it. But we can't do that because we're not giants. So yeah, this real pristine bay that's had minimal rubbish, for some reason we've broken up today and it's just full of it. So it's a bit sad. Unfortunately, Indonesia doesn't have very good waste practices. We are actually heading around the corner today to a beach to burn all of our cardboard and like scrunchy plastic to try and get rid of some of our waste so that it doesn't just end up on a beach on purpose somewhere when we take it into a town. So they often do just, if you take rubbish in, it'll just get thrown into the water. So we're trying to avoid that as best we can. Now, son, what are we up to?
We're gonna go and clean some of this rubbish up. It blew in overnight. I'm not sure why, but yeah, it's just everywhere. So we'll
Pretty bad.
we'll go and pick as much of it up as we can. It's not going to make much of a difference, but it makes us feel better about not just looking at it all sitting in the water. Unfortunately, I think the only way to get rid of it is to burn it. That's all they do. Like, even if once we get to Sorong, that's what they do. You put it in their piles and they burn it. So we'll yeah, we'll at least get it out of the water so it doesn't get into the turtles and the dolphins and whatever else. I don't know, feels like the right thing to do.
Yeah, and when you do a burn on a beach, then at the end of it you can sort of dig up and pull out anything that hasn't melted and you can take that to the rubbish, but at least minimise a lot of it.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately it still goes into the atmosphere, but that's what they do to get rid of their bulk. You know, we were in Tawal and it was a little bit confronting because they literally sweep out their shops and there'd be like a full wheelie bin and they just poof, straight off the edge into the water.
Yeah, because all their markets back onto the water's edge and they just sweep it out the back into
and single-use plastic here is out of control.
Yeah,
like,
actually we might show that at the
everything.
shops.
We bought a container of Bickies thinking that like it was a big container like we get back in Oz, a big box, yeah, and internally it was every single thing was just single package. So.
In another plastic package.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's
anyhow,
hard.
It is what it is. Nothing we can do is really going to change that, but at least we can do our bit to try and help.
I've got So not only is there a lot of rubbish to worry about, as we get closer up here you'll see the amount of timber and plant debris in the waters in Indonesia.
Probably has some rubbish in it.
So this fella here and that big one over there, you do not want to hit these whilst trying to sail your boat safely through these waters. Like, that is just a massive log. And we've got this fella here.
This has got
Oh, it's such a pristine, beautiful area. It's a shame to have rubbish. Yoink! Well, we've done fairly well.
Yeah.
We go over to the other guys and say
A
hello.
bucket and a full bag. And I think Ad's got another bag on his stand-up paddleboard.
Oh wait, let's get that fella. Quick. Oh dear. It looks a lot better than it did, but when I actually woke up in the middle of the night because I thought I heard a noise, then I came out and saw all the rubbish. I thought one of our bags rubbish had fallen off the boat, but then obviously it wasn't. But yeah, just so much. Look at you go, baby. My gosh.
Sell some rubbish, mate.
Let's get some of that onto our boat if you want, baby. Are you managing?
Yeah, can you take the tail instead?
Yeah, darling.
What have you guys got?
Heaps.
Oh, Jesus.
So while Dan and the other adults are off doing a dive, we have come around to the beach to make a fire and then burn some of our rubbish. This beach has some really cool random A-frames that have been built. Unfortunately, it is raining and everything is wet, so nothing's burning. We might end up just having to wrap it all back up and take it back to Sorong, where they will burn it anyway. So, but the kids are keeping themselves busy. They've made a bit of a swing. Good job, Ads.
Thank you.
Started making a bit of a hut and turned it into a swing. We've got the A-frames up here. While on the topic of rubbish, because obviously I came here to try and burn ours to prevent it from ending up in the ocean, and then I've come to this beach and this is what I've found. So we've got a whole bunch of rubbish here. We've got the A-frames there. I'll try and walk. Bags of concrete or cement powder that have gone hard. Now behind here, there's heaps more bags of cement and tarps. And then I'll show you the next spot, which is pretty sad. So I've got whole ripped up torn tarps here, more rubbish. Behind this you can see more tarps where obviously the cement bags were covered up. So who knows how long ago this was started and constructed, because this plant here is the one that's sort of grown all around the tarp that was covering all the cement bags, and it's very well established. So, but then come over here and this is more rubbish that I found. So up in there, you can just see so much plastic. Sort of kind of makes you feel like giving up, really, when you're trying to do the right thing. So it might be that we had a really high tide and a storm last night, and obviously heaps of rubbish has floated into Balbulol Bay whilst whilst we've been sleeping. So I'm still going to attempt to burn what I can, and if not, I'll get it all packed up nicely back into plastic bags or rubbish bags to then get rid of in Sorong. And the kids will keep playing. Survival challenge complete. The kids have their house, they've got their swing, they have their swimming pool. Yep. Very cute. And their shelter leaks a bit. So does our boat.
Now it's time for a journey underwater. My video footage never quite does justice to the beauty that we see in real life. I can't dive very deep, and I like to keep an eye on the kids at all times whilst trying to enjoy the beauty myself. For someone who was always terrified of the water and hated snorkeling, I could swim in these waters for hours and never get bored. We see a massive school of Maori wrasse and so many tropical fish amongst all the coral walls. It is gorgeous.